What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Swanky Disc Golf. Once again, today we are counting down the top 8 approach discs that we think every disc golfer should try. If you're new here, we have done this with every type of disc. We've done mid-ranges, fairway drivers, and distance drivers, and now approach discs. So be sure to check out those videos if you're looking for new discs, and be sure to comment down below what your favorite approach disc is. These videos are all about just creating a place for people to find new discs and talk about new discs. These are our favorites that we tend to recommend to anyone who is new to disc golf or anyone who's even been in disc golf for a while and they want to try a new approach disc. These are some that we think every disc golfer, regardless of skill level, should try at one point or another. Don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Leave a like on the video for the algorithm. And let's jump into number 8. At number 8, we have the ThoughtSpace Praxis, which is a local company in Maine. Really cool disc golf company, known far and wide for their branding especially. They're known for having really high quality, aesthetically pleasing stamps. They're super cool. They always look like tattoos in my mind. But the ThoughtSpace Praxis is a straight flyer 3301. It's great for tunnel shots off the tee or shorter approach shots. It's got a couple different plastics. ThoughtSpace is one of the companies that sources their plastic from MVP. So they have Ethos and Aura plastic, both of which are incredible. And I find MVP plastic to be some of the best out there that you can possibly get. Cannot recommend the Praxis enough for, again, any skill level. It's gonna be a straight flyer even for more beginners. It's not super overstable, it's not super understable. Can't recommend it enough. That's the Praxis at number 8.
All right, coming in at number 7 is the Clash Discs Peppermint. And we put this one on the list for a variety of reasons. The first is just exposure to Clash's lineup, which we think is incredible. Their plastic is my favorite on the market, I think, and everybody that tries it really loves it. They have just an they call it steady, and it just feels amazing. Compared to everything else out on the market, I think you'll find it super consistent in both grip and feel. So that's a great reason to try it out. Their naming scheme is awesome. Peppermint, mint. They have the berry, the cherry, the vanilla, the salt and pepper. We love the food-based idea for their naming scheme. But just as far as the flight of the peppermint goes and the hand feel, this is one I feel everybody should try. It's an overstable 4-speed, but unlike some other overstable 4-speeds that we'll talk about on this list, the peppermint is very deep and very broad-shouldered, extremely overstable and low glide. So this combination makes it very unique in the market, something kind of comparable to a Discraft Zone OS, maybe a little bit less overstable. But it's really unique. I don't normally like a deep rim in an overstable disc, but this one, it really works for me, and it has that low glide. It feels like it's flying very slow, but it's consistently overstable. And for somebody that really likes to throw backhand on those overstable shots, you will love the peppermint. So go ahead and give that one a try. That's our number 7.
Up next on the list, we have the Gateway Wizard. Also partially I would recommend this to people to be exposed to Gateway plastics, of which there's like a million different plastic blends. They do a really great job at innovating and being very creative with blends of plastic. It's one of the reasons we love Gateway. They're also a very unique company. They have a lot of unique molds, and the Wizard is one of those. The flight numbers on it are 2302, so a slightly overstable thrower. A lot of people putt with them. I putted with them for a while. I absolutely love them. I used the super stupid soft blend, of which there's also a soft blend and a super soft blend, and there's so many others. Gateway is just a really cool company, is one of the reasons why I would recommend this to any disc golfer. Also, any skill level. You can throw these on forehand, you can throw them on backhand. If you're more of an advanced player, you can actually get a decent amount of distance out of a Wizard, even though it's a slower speed disc. The overstability of it means you can really crank on it off of the tee, but it's also great for like fan grip approach shots. It's gonna be not crazy overstable like these overstable 4-speeds we like to use, but it's gonna be overstable enough to fight the wind. You throw it on hyzer, it's gonna bite back. It's a really cool disc. Pretty darn unique hand feel, and again, just like take your pick of plastic or what you're feeling that day. You have the plastic to match it. It's crazy. And Gateway has a ton of really great approach discs. The Wizard is probably their most popular, but just get into Gateway plastics with the Wizard. Super cool disc. Their eraser plastic is one of the most unique plastics I've ever felt in my life. They also have notably the Shaman. Thought about talking about that. Never really thrown it, but also a really cool approach disc out of them. But we're going with the Wizard for this slot. Be sure to check it out.
All right, number 5 is a disc you'll be familiar with if you watched the channel in the past, but if you haven't, this will be a great new exposure for you, and this is the Trash Panda Inner Core. And as it says in the name, this disc is made of trash, but the Inner Core was Trash Panda's first ever disc that they manufactured out of fully recycled plastic. This one will be extremely unique. The first time I ever felt an Inner Core, it was unlike anything else I had ever held in the disc golf space. It feels very tacky, and although it's made of fully recycled plastic, it feels very premium. I'm very impressed with everything that Trash Panda has been able to pull off with its recycled plastics. And so just not only for the fact that you're supporting a great company that's trying to do something fully sustainable, it'll introduce you to his lineup. He has the Dune and now the Ozone fairway driver. So he's got a complete lineup now out there, but the Inner Core was the original and probably still my favorite out of his lineup. A slow flying, 2-speed but high glide putter that really works, in my opinion, much better as an approach disc, as a driving putter than it does a putting putter. So it's a great disc to try out on this list in particular to kind of get those straight shots, straight to understable drives off the tee with your putter kind of dialed in with a really fun new plastic. Definitely one you should be adding to your bag.
Okay, coming in at number 4, we wanted to recommend at least one speed disc. For anyone who doesn't know, if you're more new to disc golf, it's kind of a very niche set of discs in the 1-speed slot that you either really like or you really don't like. And I think it'd be good for everyone to try at least one. We call them almost lid type 1-speed discs. They're just very unique hand feel, and if you do like them, sometimes it's just because they're so much different than every other disc on the market. Sometimes you really fall in love with it and feel super comfortable with it, and you're able to really dial in your approach game through this 1-speed slot. And our favorite 1-speed, we've mentioned it before, is the Lone Star Armadillo. We really like the Armadillo. It's technically supposed to be slightly overstable and low glide. It is very low glide. It's a 1-speed disc, but we find it to be almost a tiny bit flippy, especially the earlier runs that we tried out. I think they're getting a little bit more dialed now with the being slightly overstable. But this is a really cool disc. It has a very subtle thumb track on the inside, making it very comfortable. There are a lot of discs with really over-exaggerated, crazy feeling thumb tracks that I personally don't love, and I think a lot of people are pretty hit or miss with these. This is also, like, if you ever just want to try a thumb track disc, this is the one to try because it's very small. It is a very low, short thumb track on the inside. But these things, for a 1-speed disc, and if you're playing at a local course, we find ourselves being able to throw it off the tee for a lot of really short holes. We see at some of our local courses here, holes that are 200 feet or less. And you're gonna be able to really crank on the Armadillo, and it's not gonna go super far. It's not gonna go past like a 200-foot basket, and you can throw it as hard as you want because you might be comfortable with that stock like 80 to 90% power throw. It's a really cool disc. And then for approach shots, of course, 1-speeds are famous for safely being able to run the basket without it going too far past the basket if you miss. That's one of their most bragged about purposes. Of course, people talk about the Berg all the time, the Polecat all the time. One of those is also a pretty good option, but we really like the Armadillo in this slot. It's just not too overstable to where it feels kind of useless in a sense, and it's not so understable that it's gonna burn on you. It's very shapeable. It gives you a lot of different unique opportunities, and that's gonna be our recommendation. Try out a 1-speed, I would say. Our recommendation is gonna be the Armadillo. You can let us know what you think in the comments below.
For number 3, we have the king of this list, and one that you may already be aware of, likely you are, but you still need to try it. and that's the Discraft Zone. This is the long-standing king of all approach discs, overstable 4-speed, putter, approach disc. It doesn't matter. This one is in almost every disc golfer's bag, and if you're not Innova only guy, then you're probably bagging a Zone. Super overstable, but in certain plastics can beat to be straight to overstable, which that is the sweet spot. If you're looking for a Zone, go out and get yourself either an ESP or certain blends of the Z Zones as well. They just beat to this straight to fight hard at the end style of flight that makes them perfect for backhand and especially perfect for forehand flights. You really can't beat this disc. If you don't own one already, I don't know what you're doing here. Go up and pull up a new tab and go ahead and buy one. These things are incredible and you will not regret the Zone. I don't need to tell you twice. Go ahead and grab one.
Number 2, similar vein to the Zone, but not the same. And that's why we're gonna recommend it also on the same list, the Innova Pig. The Innova Pig is truly a unique approach disc. It's most famous for its R Pro plastic, which is super tacky and grippy and soft. There are a lot of people who bag the Zone and the Pig because the Pig is going to stick into the ground. It's also typically not as overstable as a Zone. You might be able to find a Pig here and there that is almost as overstable, but it's typically not as overstable. Still really great for forehands and backhands. Also a much deeper feeling rim here than the Zone, which some people really, really love. Some people don't love that as much. So I would say try the Zone and the Pig, and you might find you like one way more than the other, or you might find they complement your game both in different ways. The numbers on the Pig are 4103, so very, very similar, but they typically do fly much less overstable. You can find them in Halo plastic now, which is Innova's most premium, incredible, crazy overstable plastic. Probably flies very different than a normal Pig, I will say. There are some disc golfers who have gone as far to get a tattoo of a pig flying. It's absolutely crazy. I've seen it. But the Pig is a very cool disc. Innova has their best quality is that they're so available. Any disc golf store you go into is going to have a Pig, and the R Pro Pigs are, honestly, you can find them as low as $8 to $10 sometimes. Brand new, that's not even in a used bin, because the R Pro plastic is technically a base plastic, but it feels very premium. They're fairly durable. They will beat in quicker than, say, like a Z Zone or a Star Plastic anything. But R Pro plastic, very, very unique, and the Pig is a very, very fun, overstable approach disc. And we have a bunch of those on this list, but that's just because they're the most popular approach discs out there. Almost everyone bags at least one Zone or Pig, or Toro is another one from Innova, more overstable, or Tactic from Discmania. Latitude 64 has the Savior now. They're all over the place. Everybody bags one, but the Pig is awesome. We love the Pig, so we're kind of going with the Zone and the Pig, and we mentioned the Peppermint. That one's way more. These are all unique to each other. Peppermint's very overstable. The Zone is pretty overstable. The Pig is overstable. So it's like they're different, same, but different. But the Pig coming in at number 2.
All right, we are almost to the end of our list, but before we give you the number 1 approach disc that every disc golfer should try, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content, and like the video if you've had a good time so far. And please, please let us know in the comments what approach discs you think everybody should be trying, what we missed, what you guys are bagging. And if you're loving the Swanky content, you can go check out the Swanky Disc Golf Show wherever you get your podcasts. And for additional content, join for only 99 cents the YouTube memberships, and you'll be getting 1 video a month and entered into a ton of fun giveaways that we do over there for our members. So go ahead and check that out as well. We appreciate you guys and all the support you give. All right, number 1, here it is. The Axiom Proxy, made popular by its stellar flight, made extremely popular by Simon Lizotte. When he joined Team MVP, he took to the Proxy just right away. He loved its smooth to understable flight. Obviously, this is the little brother to the Axiom Envy. And the Envy got a ton of hype a couple years ago when James Conrad threw it in for the win. If you haven't seen that, go look it up. Proxy was undervalued, I think, until Simon joined the team when he really shone a light on that disc. The numbers are 3, 3, -1, 0.5. And especially when paired with the Envy, what a duo these are. But you guys should go try for yourselves, and the Proxy is a great first mold to do that. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's our top 8 approach discs everybody should try. Go out and get you some. We'll see you in the next one. Stay swanky.